Yeah, looking forward to a new Sinnoh adventure, are we? Looking forward to that brilliant diamond? Well, let me take a guess at what your team's gonna be, mister. Yeah, uncanny, isn't it? I know, cause I've used this team 6 or 7 times. So we're gonna take the effort to at least learn some of the other options available if you wanna mix things up and, no, use a Stunfisk. Who am I to judge? Yeah, I know it's a bell. Sometimes you have to make weird choices to choose new Pokemon, but you get a whole lot with this bell. Bronzong shares the exact same stat total as Alakazam. Alakazam? Who the hell is that? Alakazam, Altaria, and Slowking. It's available early on with a high stat total. It's a steel type, meaning its defense is incredible, but it also has a psychic type for offensive move. Levitate grants it immunity to ground type moves, while Heatproof grants it immunity to fire type moves. So look at whatever your team's weak in and pick your poison. It even has a higher stat total than Floatzel and Staraptor. Don't act like you didn't use Floatzel and Staraptor. I know you're basic. God doesn't. I do.
Jessica. Bland, boring Jessica. If she was a spice, she'd be flour.
Insult audience? Check. Drapion is utterly fantastic. It shares the exact same stat total as Bronzong, meaning it's on the same level as Pokemon like Altaria and Alakazam. It also gets access to all of the elemental fangs, giving it amazing coverage. 90 attack, 95 speed, 110 defense. Drapion is available super early on, just before you fight Crash Awake. It evolves a little bit late, but Cross Poison, Crunch, Poison Fang, and all of the elemental fangs more than make up for it, especially when you consider that Sinnoh is one of the few regions where Heartstones are readily available, and necessary to get the elemental fangs. It's a great user of Toxic, Earthquake, make him great against Byron, Volkner, Flint. Plus it comes with Battle Armor or Sniper for its special ability. One prevents all critical hits and the other increases their damage from 2 times to 3 times. Drapion is just a weird and relentlessly fun Pokemon to use. Plus, look at that face. He wants a hug. Lucario, Torterra, Dusknoir. What do these Pokemon have in common? I'll tell you, it's Hippowdon. Disturbingly enough. Hippowdon shares its base stat total with the aforementioned Pokemon, which are all beasts in their own right, but most of them don't come with Hippowdon's fantastic ground typing. Ground, as always, is a powerhouse of an offensive type, hitting hard against most things, with Earthquake to be a fantastic stab move, only made better by Hippowdon's ability. You know Tyranitar? Yeah, well, it's the same thing here. Sandstream, an ability that induces Sandstorm at the start of every battle, or whenever Hippowdon enters play. It means he's always fighting with a home field advantage. This is especially fun when you consider that Sinnoh has a large number of areas that have weather effects built into them, like the peak of Mount Coronet, or whatever the raining route is called. And if you've never had a Pokemon on your team that can just blank weather conditions like this, you have to try it. It's tremendously useful. On top of that, like our previous entry, he comes outfitted with all of the elemental fangs, and considering heart scales are so easily found in this game through the underground, you should be able to get all of them put on him at a moment's notice. Thunderfang notably covering his water weakness, while Icefang covers his grass weakness. He's great for a generic adventure, he's great if you want to build a custom weather team that focuses on Sandstorm. He's just fun. No, he definitely lacks the incredible speed of our next entry. Any of y'all remember Speed Boost Blaziken? Yeah, well, this isn't that. This is the bug. But as bugs go, it's pretty good. Yanmega is obtained early and learns fantastic moves like Air Slash, Bug Buzz, and U-Turn. Its speed stat is phenomenal. Phenomenal. And on top of all of that, it can be obtained relatively early in game, and evolved early as well. Of course, its high stats make it lead towards being a physical sweeper, with high speed and high offense. However, given it wants to stall out the game to get as many uses out of Speed Boost as possible, it also makes for a surprisingly excellent Toxic Staller against foes that can't one-shot. Give it Toxic, Protect, U-Turn to switch out, you have a great set. So he's not the biggest looker in the bunch. What he lacks in good eyeshadow, he makes up for with some sweet moves, having access to Earthquake via TM and Poison Jab naturally. He has great stats, being able to match Alakazam, and is available early on, being able to be caught in the Great Marsh at the same time you can acquire Drapion, the Pokemon he shares a stat total with. He has access to Anticipation as an ability I'm sure you don't know what it does, because I only just found out about it reading this video. It's the creepy one that causes Pokemon to shudder sometimes when they enter battle. What this is doing is indicating whether the opponent they're facing off against has a super effective move against them. Toxicroak is unfairly underused due to, I assume, his weird face, but is an excellent Pokemon, a great physical attacker, great at inflicting status conditions as he learns Toxic naturally, and he has a wide variety of offensive moves that cover a large amount of types, like Ground, Fighting, Poison, Dark. If you're the type of person who sends frog memes to their friends, then I have bad news for you, bud, but this one's straight up mandatory.
It is Wednesday, my dudes.
Oof, you gotta love Gliscor. And this one loses a few points in terms of being underused, as it's not too horribly unpopular compared with some of the other Pokemon here, mostly due to its role in the anime, at least I guess. Gliscor is shockingly excellent, being available right after the second gym. He's a physical sweeper, with high physical attack and decent enough speed, designed to be able to take advantage of his pretty excellent move pool of physical attacks, with X-Scissor, Earthquake, Fly, U-Turn, plus all the elemental fangs for coverage. Where most sweepers fall down is their defense, being pretty squishy on average. And yeah, Gliscor's not going to be taking any hits like a champ anytime soon, but he does have a typing that grants him 2 immunities. Flying, granting him immunity to ground, and ground, granting him immunity to electricity. Meaning it's actually pretty easy to switch Gliscor in, tank a hit, and then take out whatever he's been thrown against. And that's just for everyone he can't take out in one hit anyway. You ever used Ampharos? Yeah, I know you have. Yeah, well, he has the same stat total as that, so there you go. His abilities aren't great. Sand Veil, if you put him on that sand team I was telling you to make with the weird hippo from before, and Hyper Cutter, which prevents his attack from being lowered, which is pretty terrible, but it's not actively harmful, and the rest of him's good enough as is. Ooh, now we're getting into the big boys. You want to talk about underused? You want to talk about Tangrowth? I'm gonna start with a question. What do these Pokemon have in common? Lucario? Torterra? Venusaur? I'll tell you what they have in common. All of them have the exact same stat total as Tangrowth. And boy can this guy make use of those great stats. See, Tangrowth has access to a really shockingly wide move pool. Giga Drain, Earthquake, Brick Break, Shockwave, Sludge Bomb, Aerial Ace, Rock Tomb, Energy Ball, Focus Blast. He can do it all. He even gets access to Natural Gift. It's a special move that changes its type and power depending on the berry held, meaning it can potentially be any type. Sure, the power's not absolutely fantastic, but you're not doing this for competitive, are you? No, you're doing it for your main playthrough, in which having a super effective move for the Water Gym, and the Fire Gym, and every gym in the game is incredibly useful. He's available early, being able to be found in the Great Marsh, like every underused Pokemon on this list. God, it's almost like people don't want to trek through a damn swamp to get Pokemon. Who'd have thought? He has access to Sleep Powder, which is excellent for catching other Pokemon, and his abilities are also there. Alright, so they're not great. It's Chlorophyll and Leaf Guard. Both excellent abilities, but they only activate in sunlight, which means you're never going to have them in use outside of having a dedicated sun team. But he doesn't need them. His stats are fantastic, his moves are fantastic, he's available early on, right before a water gym, if you're taking note. Next time you play through Sinnoh, pick up a Tangrowth. It can do everything, it's fantastic. Yeah, it's your boy Probopass. Bet you forgot about your boy Probopass, didn't you? Forgot about that giant nose? Well, he didn't forget about you. He's just been waiting for you to use him in your next playthrough. He comes with fan favorite ability Magnet Pull. Anyone? Magnet Pull. Stop steel type switching out, so you know, you can trap those Magnezones. Alright, so he has Magnet Pull if you're weird. If you want an actual good ability, he comes with Sturdy, which prevents him from being one hit, which is a fantastic ability. He's a Rock Steel type, which is an amazing defensive typing, and he has the amazing defensive stats to keep up with it. Really, you can only appreciate having a good defensive Pokemon like this if you've used a proper sturdy ground Pokemon before, like Steelix or Golem. And he's not just gonna wall like Bronzong. Oh no, this guy wants to be a physical attacker. Weirdly enough, learning a variety of incredibly powerful electric, steel, rock, and ground type moves, giving him fantastic coverage, even covering a bunch of his weaknesses. And besides just great abilities, great stats, great move pool, of all the non-legendary Pokemon in Sinnoh, he has one of the highest stat totals. Available during the mid-game, Probopass is one of the least used and most useful Pokemon you could possibly pick up in Sinnoh. Plus he gets style points for beating someone to death with a giant nose. Look at that thing. Caught a cold, he would cause an earthquake. Maybe I should have put these two together. Magnezone has a lot of the same qualities that make Probopass such an excellent Pokemon. They share 2 abilities, Magnet Pull and Sturdy. Both are primarily offensive, but have fantastic defensive typings. Both evolve in Mount Coronet and are available in the mid-game, around when you get Surf. The reason Magnezone beats out Probopass on this list is simple. Electric Stab. Both run great electric moves, but as an electric type itself, Magnezone can deal far more damage with it. And electric is simply a fantastic offensive type, especially in Sinnoh. Flying and water Pokemon abound in every direction, making him a lot more useful, even if they are very nearly equal in every other way. Magnezone having a little less variety in its offensive moves, not getting access to any good ground or rock moves. Either way, just make sure you don't get one with Magnet Pull and you'll be set, though not as well off as our number 1 entry. Ah, no. Alright, just briefly, Barrel is a terrible Pokemon for a general playthrough. It evolves really, really early, when that's about as good as it gets. From that point on, you're set with mediocre stats, a pretty bad move pool, and 2 terrible, terrible abilities. I'm sorry, I so wanted to save it. I've used it as an HM Slave too. I was really hoping there was a way to make this guy good, but no, compared to the rest of the list, he's just not worthwhile. What'd that tongue do? Can't put that in the video. Yeah, I was surprised too. Licky Licky comes with 2 pretty alright abilities, neither one of them excelling that often, but they can come up. But behind that, he has a fantastic typing, and base normal is resisted by basically nothing. The incredible move pool that comes with most normal type Pokemon, some great level up moves, and utterly crazy stats, some of the highest of any of the non-legendary Pokemon found in Sinnoh. Combine that with the fact that he can be found extremely early on in your playthrough, and you have a heavy hitter that's going to start off strong and continue good, and having basically no bad matchups in the entire game. I guess bar Alien's fighting gym, but nah, you can't get it all. Licky Licky is a ridiculous and utterly broken Pokemon, and if you are ever in Sinnoh again, I would highly recommend you play through it with one. What's that now? It's kind of cute. Probably make a good plush. I don't know. Look at this.